Chalo, let's start. So today, Arjuna is going to ask the optimum questions, okay? Before we get into that zone, what I'll suggest to everybody is the question is by Arjuna and Krishna is answering him. But remember that the answers are about the one who is Gunatita. Okay, one who has gone beyond the gunas. Problem is, as soon as we see the characteristics that will be there, like he's this, he's like that, he's like this, instantly we start feeling we are also spiritual. So we should also have all these qualities. No, 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 no. Don't jump into the boat so soon. We are seekers. Arjuna is a seeker. He is asking, how will I recognize such a person? So all the characteristics are for what? For us to recognize somebody who could be there. Not, it has nothing to do with us. So then I always tell everybody, start from where you are. Don't jump along and think, oh, Krishna is speaking, giving these qualities. He gave us the qualities in chapter 13, 20 qualities that we need to imbibe and work on ourselves. So that then whatever now he will disclose the 22nd, 23rd shlokas, then we'll even more actually, we'll start feeling, oh my God. Chapter 2 also he had asked the question. Sthita Prajna ka bhasha. The one who is in Sthita Prajna, what are the indications? Samadhistasya Keshava, the one who is seated in, the state of Samadhi. Sthitadhi kim prabhasheta. The Sthitadhi, the one with a steady intellect, how does he speak? Kim asita vrajeta kim. How does he sit? How does he walk? So that time, from that shloka onwards, next shloka onwards, till the chapter ends. Chapter 2, Krishna is giving out the qualities of the Sthita Prajna. And we all started thinking, oh my God, this is who I am, and I should be this. So now today, let us start from the base understanding that we are all seeking something. It could be peace of mind. It could be stability of course, mind. We could be wanting a good intellect, a sharp intellect, or something or the other. Are we really seeking God, Paramatman? We know Paramatma is there, we know God is there. But am I a seeker who wants to know who I am really? Or do I first want to tackle my issues, my, psychological issues, physical issues, my, all my conflicts? I want to resolve all this. Maybe, this is my trouble. So wherever you are today, start from there. Don't go anywhere else that, oh, this is what is to be done means I am there because I am doing for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter how many years we are on to the boat. It is how much purushartha I have done. For what? A child who is studying 5 years to get into maybe, MBBS seat is eligible for that. Surely. But very fixed that the child was studying for this subject alone. 8 hours, 10 hours a day, the child is studying for that seat. So naturally, the child is eligible for that. How much of Purushartha are we doing for whatever we are seeking? Be very, very honest with yourself today. Okay, straightforward. I don't need any answers. I just want you to check by yourself. If I put myself in this category, how much Purushartha have I, self-effort, have I taken in this direction? 1 hour a day, maybe 2 hours. Then definitely you have reached that much. That too, if you have sincerely done it. If you've done it like a routine, like, I have to do this, I have to do that, like we cook. then it will be that much only. First step, we cannot compare with anybody because everybody is different. Okay, I always say this, one person putting in 5 years, another person putting in 5 years, completely two different personalities with different packages, with different karmas that they brought together. Separate they have brought. So individually they will develop separately and differently. Acceptance is important. Where I am today. And then we can start. Okay, so now let's get to the core. So, Purushartha is self-effort. In case somebody doesn't know exactly what it is, first of all, we can also understand it properly. Purusha Artha. Okay, Purusha. Who is Purusha and what is Purusha? Pur is a place. There is Nagpur, Kanpur, Solapur. Pur is a town or a village or a place. Okay. Purusha is the one who resides in that Pura. Okay. Tripura. Like that. In one Pura, whoever is residing is the Purusha. So in your Pur, whoever is residing is Purusha. That is the self. And Artha. Artha means meaning and wealth, both. So then, finding the wealth, the meaning of the self is Purushartha. Purushartha. Though it's translated in English as self-effort, it is basically finding the self or finding the meaning of the self, finding the wealth of the self. That is Purushartha. So now, don't take it like, oh, she's asking us to put 5 hours. No, it's not like that. It is not just the hours. It is the quality. It is the intensity. It is the interest. It is the vigor. That way, individually, each person will progress. Okay? The Purushartha is important. At no point can we say, oh, it's all happening. We have to put in our efforts. Whichever direction in your life you want to go, it's perfectly fine. But wherever you want to feel that I want to reach here, then you should put in more efforts in that direction. Okay, so that was Purushartha. Now, Shloka 20. Now, Krishna has led us from understanding. Last time we understood that, that we are not the pilot in the aeroplane and gunas are only doing everything, right? This is still a basic understanding. This has to be realized. There is a difference, okay? It is good to understand, but it still does not change anything in our life. Honestly, we still do not remember that it's the pilot who is flying the flight, and we feel that I am doing everything. It is still there. And let's be honest, yes, it is there. Why? Because I have not realized it. I just understood it verbally. So then I cannot pretend. Now suppose I feel I am doing this. But because I learned it in class, I will start pretending, no. I am not the doer. I am not the doer. Then we are fooling ourselves, and there is nothing worse than that. So let's begin properly. That's what I'm saying. Internally, I feel I am doing. Okay, so then I need to, understand properly. I need to work on myself, which is fine. Which is fine. See, in the millions of people on this planet, you'll find Virla is the word. 1 or 2 or 3 who really wants to know who I am. Though we all are supposed to reach there, it will take time. We have been on this journey for lifetimes. It will take time for us to reach there. This is probably, we don't know where we are and when it will reach. It really doesn't matter. I will continue the journey as it is programmed. Eventually, I may reach. The point is, we all want that, that spiritual victory. मैं आत्मज्ञानी हो गई इस जन्म में. In this life, I became आत्मज्ञानी. How does it matter? How did you lead your life? Was it peaceful? Was it stable? Was it comfortable? Did you love everybody in your family? Did you care for everybody? Did you care for others? First, did we become a human being? Then we can think of becoming divine. First, we have to be base human. From base, we reach to better human, then to the peak of human. That takes us to divinity. Here we are, struggling and struggling. Another thing I will tell you, the mind can be only managed. Don't, put your hands in that muck, we say. Don't play much with the mind. Sharpen your intellect. Sharpen your intellect. Make it a vivekavati, vivekavana buddhi. A discriminative intellect. Mind is going to play. It can't change. It will jump up, then it will jump down. If you really understand what I am saying, you would be the witness of the mind, not trying to meddle in it. The mind is just enacting. The gunas are enacting. An intellectual, not in the sense who has 2-3 degrees, the one who has realized, has a very fine intellect and has dropped the ego. How do we drop the ego? By saying, no, I'm not doing anything. This is all pretense. We are very clear that we are doing. Let's be very clear. I'm doing, Baba. I know I'm doing this. Let's be honest and happy about it. We know that is the ultimate, but right now I'm not there, which is fine. Which is fine. It does not make us any less or more. No. First thing is, let's remove all the social issues where I always keep saying that. Earlier it was religious that mandir nahi jate, she, they are horrible. Now you're not meditating, you're not doing any spiritual practice, you're a hopeless case. We are better. This has to go from your psyche permanently. Please sit down and remove it. That the one who is doing a spiritual practice, so-called, is better than the other one. Now, if your spouse is getting up in the morning, going to work, struggling, coming back, earning for the family, giving them everything, taking care of the children, isn't it good enough? It is. We need to respect them for that. Instead, we are saying, you're not meditating, I am meditating. I am spiritual, you're samsari. I don't know who gives all this nonsense words, but there is nothing called samsari and adhyatmi and all this stuff. Because we are not one of those million, right? Who is actually wanting to know who I am. We are just doing some practices that is out in the market and we start thinking we are spiritual. Is the spirit in the ritual? This is my, I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but my framing of understanding spiritual is if the spirit is in the ritual, whatever is happening, you're doing whatever it is right now, listening, if your spirit is right here, it doesn't matter what it is spiritual. So then that's missing for us. And we have no clue who the spirit is, by the way. So that's another headache. So then we are stuck in words and vocabulary. मैं आत्मा हूँ, मैं सच्चिदानंद हूँ. ये शब्द है. These are only words. There is no experience of that, neither the Sat, nor the Chit, nor the Ananda. But we know the definitions, which is good. We need to know the definitions. We need to learn. I am not saying don't learn. Learning is not equal to being. You have to learn, then you have to sharpen the intellect. You have to work on fine-tuning the intellect, make it more cleaner and clearer. Discrimination should be clear. Of what? Of not basic things that this is water and this is Pepsi. No, the discrimination is what? If you learn Tattva Bodha, Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. What is Nitya, permanent, and what is impermanent? This Viveka should be there. If this Viveka will be there, Vairagya is the phala. Would you be then hankering after things? When you know what is permanent and what is impermanent? Will it cause you sorrow, joy, ups and downs? No, actually, you won't be attached to it anymore. Joys and sorrows will come. This is one part. Next part is understand very, very clearly that we can never change anybody or any situation. It can change by itself due to the, you could say interference of nature. But suppose I think of myself, I should know that I cannot change this situation. I cannot change this person. I cannot do anything. What can I do? I can do something about this one, about myself. What can I do? I can change my glass. I went to the opticals. She said 0.5 increased in one eye. Another eye 0.25 increased. Then I have to change the glass, right? Why? I have to see properly. What can I change? The glass. The perception of the situation is in my hand. This I can work on. I cannot do anything about the situation. No. Prarabdha karma is going to flow. See, how do you change when people say you change your destiny? You can change. How can you change it? You can't change what has come. If an apple has come to you, you can't sit down and meditate and make it into a mango. It doesn't work. Okay? Now, this apple, I see it as an apple. I have to eat it. How I eat it, how I perceive it, what I do with it creates a new karma. That's where the change has happened. Earlier situation in your life, somebody is shouting at you and there's a fight, you're very upset for 10 days, and now the situation in your life, same situation. You're upset, but you're like, chalta chodo. By next day, you are in a better state of mind. Okay, within 24 hours. Now you have sown a different seed, a seed with a different intensity. See the difference? Now the destiny changes, not before that. Now what do you say? It's the Kriyaman karma has changed. The one that you're doing now, which is going to bear fruits, has changed. Just by the change of glass. Now don't go and buy glasses, everybody. It is the eyes, the perception. See, what technically happens is with knowledge. Okay, another simple example. A person is not having a good rapport with me. They are little rude at times. They are just blunt. They are harsh, Earlier they were not like that maybe. And now they're behaving like this. And suddenly I start feeling, what did I do? What happened? Why did the relationship become like this? Why is this person saying like this to me or behaving little, off and stuff? And I start avoiding the person, maybe disliking, maybe feeling, no, I don't want to talk to this person. I don't want to see their face. Stuff like that will start coming in my mind. Okay? Where did this all come from? Because I perceived all this, what was coming from front. Because of the knowledge of what I have of the past. That this person was like this with me. Now this person is like this with me. This is based on what? But of whatever collection of knowledge I have about the person. Right? Now I meet somebody and they come and tell me, no, this person is going through a lot of depression. This person is under medication. This person is undergoing this disease, etc. Okay. Suddenly I got more knowledge about the person. Now when the person behaves like this, how will I think, array, that person is undergoing so much. How can I, judge the person like this? What happened actually? Nothing. The person is still the same. What happened within you? The knowledge changed. You understand the strength of knowledge. Okay. Now the knowledge about this person changed. So what happened? Now I don't feel like that about that person. Let it be. Let them be harsh. It's okay. I understand. Why? I got more knowledge of the person. Right now, the problem is the relationship issues we have or whatever issues we have in our life is because we don't have sufficient knowledge of the psyche of that person of the illness of the person, of the physical issues of the person, of the financial challenges of the person. We have no clue. Somebody comes and gives you the full details, you'll suddenly change your perception about the person. You'll be more accepting. Right now, I am unable to accept, suppose my partner, my spouse, or my parent, or my sibling. We don't know what is there, which dasha in the astrology chart they are going through, what physical illness they are suffering. You yourself look at yourself, okay? You have hyperacidity today, suppose. Now your child or spouse or somebody in the house said something or did something. You are going to blast unnecessarily. Already there is irritation inside the body that is going to jump out. The day you have hyperacidity, inform everybody in the house in bold. Okay, I have hyperacidity. I am irritated inside. There is a chance that I will spit venom. Please bear with me today. Give them the warning and they will take care. Now, we only don't know, lack of knowledge. Okay, that I am suffering acidity. It can come out in my reactions. It will come out in the reactions. It's a physical thing, isn't it? It's going to, suddenly spark something. Everybody is uninformed. They have lack of knowledge. Why is she behaving like this today? No idea. Tell them, today I am sick. Today I have this issue. Don't trouble me today. Or if you trouble me, expect the worst from me today. Tomorrow won't be the same. So if you're this transparent, how can we be this transparent when we have the knowledge? When I get the knowledge about the other person suffering, my perception changes totally. Isn't it natural? All that was needed is knowledge. Similarly, Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka is not just like that. I need to have the knowledge of what is permanent and impermanent. We just know, but there's not actual knowledge. It's not like I touched the fire and I burnt my hand and now I know. That's the difference. So understand everything. You should be more accepting. Sometimes you will not get that information. That's when we say, have patience, have endurance. Because we don't know. We don't know where that person is coming from. What is their issue? Mental issue, physical issue. We have no clue. Let us be more accepting of others. For what? For not doing any greatness to them. For our own peace of mind. How does it help? Knowledge helps. A fine, sharp intellect helps. Nothing else helps. Believe me. All the tricks and tips that we listen from here, take a deep breath and all, it's very temporary. The breath is gone out again and again, you'll blast. Instead, just the knowledge. Okay, this is the issue. No, my perception, I don't need to think of changing the perception. Honestly, the perception changes by itself. Very natural. When we know that somebody is in difficulty, our perception changes. Nobody has to train us to do it. So that's why I keep saying the mind will play its tricks. If the intellect is good, sharp, utilized, well, not over, not under. A nice, sharp intellect can, just look at the mind. Kya kar raha hai? What are you doing? Continue. It's going to play its tricks. The mind is going to go up and down. The intellect is not going to support. The intellect, as far as the Bhagavad Gita is concerned, is Krishna. That's how it works. The Jiva, as they show, is Arjuna. So if you have an intellect like Krishna, that sharp, that pure, that clean, that perfect, what else do you want? He's the driver of the chariot. If that intellect is driving your body, that intellect is driving you, the self, that intellect is holding the reins of your, it's called the mind and the senses. Imagine what a wonderful situation you are in. That is the reason why we need two things to cultivate if you want some balance in your life. One is sharpening your intellect, read, read, and read as much as you can. Anything you like. It really doesn't matter. Don't only keep, I know, I always keep bashing Instagram. Akshita said, we can't put this on YouTube. I said, it doesn't matter. Let it come. Let them come up against. I don't care. Instagram is useless. Instagram is time pass. It is fun. If you want to see other people's pictures and all that, please go ahead. If you want any information about the spirit, about the self, about whatever they call as spirituality, don't go on Instagram because they have only one-liners, two-liners, four-liners, one sentence, 1 minute reel. This 1 minute reel is useless. It leaves us with nothing. Nothing. If you really are interested in understanding the self, take that 1.5 hour lecture and sit down and watch it. Listen to it, doing nothing else. Sit and listen to the whole lecture. That's when I say you have commitment. This is the world of instant gratification. I saw 20 reels. I am spiritual. I don't know who thinks like that, but a lot of people have started giving out gyan, knowledge. Yeah, Insta mein suna. The name Insta, instant, is only giving us what is there in it. Still, we are addicted to it. You do it, you do your continue addiction, but don't get into any spiritual knowledge from that. For spiritual knowledge, commitment, reading the scriptures, listening to the expounding of the scriptures. Do this. Reading, listening to full lectures, proper lectures where the entire information is given. And if you can write, you can write. See, this is the way to develop the intellect. Why are we doing this? Because I want that sharp intellect to be ruling the entire system. The subtle body is then dealt properly. The ego doesn't keep popping up. If there is a very sharp intellect, it's the closest to the spirit. The intellect is closest to the spirit. So then your life is much better. Then if you can't do much of this, then put guided meditations, sit down and meditate. That's also okay. But the ultimate that you can do is just silence yourself. Stop everything. Don't do anything. Keep everything away. All devices away. Just sit and be. Just be. How long can you just be? Just sit, doing nothing. Oh, my mind starts thinking. Let it think. You watch. Mind is going to think. What else it will do? Watch. How much it will think. How many of us can just sit doing nothing? Nothing. Thinking will happen. Leave that aside. I'm not speaking of that. You will not do anything. You will just sit. No TV, no device, no writing, no pen, nothing. You can keep your eyes open or closed, doesn't matter. Just sit. It's interesting, isn't it? There is that silence. If you right now observe, if I keep gaps in between what I say, there is silence. If you catch that silence, it's you. That silence is us. That's it. There is nothing else to attain. That's your very nature. Silence is your very nature. But we have to cultivate silence now. No, it's true, but we have reached that state of I don't know what words to use, but agitation, you could say, where silence. Oh, I need to silence. You are that silence. You are that. To experience, you are the bliss also. To experience that, I have to take so much efforts now. Actually, you just need to silence. You throw everything away and just sit. There is silence. The mind starts talking. Let it talk. Watch. How long will it talk? If you don't listen much to it, it will stop the chatter. You are entertaining it. You are meddling with it. Instantly, it will say, no, that, no, this, no more excitement. Now, suppose you're doing something, a yoga class or a dance. Nobody is looking. Nobody. It's a closed door. You're different. Now, one person walks in. Oh, the adaya will change. Everything will change. You become conscious now, isn't it? This is the problem. Soon as you become conscious, everything changes. Here we are saying just be conscious and watch that mind, what it is doing. Right now it is thinking. I am saying words, you are thinking also simultaneously. So it's a two-way communication. We always felt, oh, she keeps on talking and we have to only listen. No, no, you are also talking. If I could hear, I would hear so many voices now. Speaking. We are speaking also. Background, it's going on. Narrative is going on. And plus, listening also is going on. So this is wrong listening. I used to say right listening, right listening. This is right listening is when I'm just sitting. I have nothing to say back. I'm blank. You say. When we listen carefully, I have seen the changes in the body language also. When something new is said, suddenly everybody is like, what is this? This I don't know. Okay, I want to listen carefully. But if you think, oh, it's the same old thing, then you're like, okay, let me also start thinking little bit, simultaneously. So be aware, bring awareness into everything. Practice it. It is you. I know awareness is what you are. But initially to get to it, start becoming aware of things. Bring awareness into things. I'm drinking water, I'm speaking, I'm raising my hand, I'm walking, I'm moving, everything. Become aware of things, people, everything around. This brings you could say clarity because you're aware, you're not unconscious, you're very conscious. It's like dharana, dhyana. We can't jump into samadhi, which is going to speak of now. So these were the basic understanding tips and ways to go through it. You can use techniques, but understand that it is for the mind. All the techniques that are given out are only to manage the mind. Best part is what this person is going to do. Gunathi, the person is going to do is, he's not going to bother about the mind. He's a realized one. Realized one is one with a clear intellect. Okay? One who is a clear intellect, whose ego has naturally dropped, not through pretense, naturally dropped, has directly unidentified with what's going on, so doesn't bother to meddle in it. We are speaking of that Gunathit. So that's why this whole background was there. Personally, what you need to do is work on your intellect. Sharpen it, work on it. It will break the ego. It will not bother about the mind. The mind will be managed because of a sharp intellect. That's the best thing to do. That's where knowledge steps in. That's why I told you the stories of knowledge. The minute knowledge comes to me, my perception changes. The right knowledge, perception changed. Most important thing, most important. All the tips and tricks only make us addicted to certain things. If I don't do this prayer today, I don't know, something will happen. Addiction to the prayer, addiction to the technique. I am not saying you have to stop it, but please understand that that will continue lifetime, that addiction. Instead, just look at yourself. It's you. We're talking about us, nobody else. It's my mind which is dancing. My intellect has to be so sharp by reading of the scriptures, by understanding the knowledge, that I can see through the mind now. and it's all its chatter, all its narratives, and it no longer bothers me. My perception changes due to knowledge. Okay, so discipline is important. Second is discipline in whatever you do. Understanding what you're doing and what it is doing to you. Understanding should be very clear. It will come with knowledge. Work on the knowledge. It's really important. Okay, so now 20, not 21, 20. 20 says, Gunan etan atityatreen dehi deha samudbhava janma mrityu jara dukhair vimukto amritam ashnate. Gunan etan atitya. One who has gone beyond the gunas. Which gunas? Three gunas. Okay. Dehi deha samudbhavan. Who has gone beyond these gunas? Dehi. Who is Dehi? The embodied soul, the jiva, the whatever you understand. Okay. So the one who is identified with this subtle body and the physical body is called jiva. The consciousness that is identified with all this is called jiva. Dehi. Dehi is also the owner of the deha. Deha is body. So the one who is identified and owns the body, subtle and physical, is Dehi. So this Dehi who has gone beyond the three gunas. Okay. Deha samudbhavan. From where did the Deha come? The body through the Dehi. Next, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukha. Janma, birth, Mrityu, death, Jara, all kinds of diseases, illness, Dukkha. This one has gone beyond all the souls. Now this will start making us feel how? The one who has gone beyond the three gunas, they will still eat, right? The body has to survive. They will also get stomach upset. They will also get acidity and gas or whatever, depending on the age or what they ate. So how did they cross the dukkha of all the jara? They will not age. Vyadhi, illness, jara, aging, all these stages we had learnt in this Tattvabodha. Asti jayate vardhante viparinamate apakshiyate. You remember that? Vinashyati. So now these are different, it's called Shadvikara. The 6 changes, transformations that happen to what? To the body. Okay, it comes, it's born, it is there, of course, and then it grows, then it develops, then it decays, old age, and death. Okay, any physical body you know of that has not gone through at least Janma and Mrityu, even if they didn't reach old age. The stages are there. Some people go through all the stages, some people skip 1 or 2 and the Mrityu comes early. But this is the Shadvikara of what? Of the body. Okay? So now he is saying Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukha. So, Jara, old age, basically Vyadhi is disease, birth, decay, death, pain, misery. This person has gone beyond all this. And what happens? Vimukto. He's freed. Okay, freed of all this. And then what happens? Amritam Ashnute. Attains immortality. Now this gives us false hopes that I will never die. The body will die. That's why I was speaking of the Shadvikara. So there are 6 changes that most bodies will undergo. Skipping some things could happen, but Janma Mrityu is guaranteed. For all physical bodies, Janma Mrityu is guaranteed. So then what are they saying? He'll be freed of all this. And he attains immortality. Oh wow, he's never going to die. This is our understanding, right? That oh, then this person will never die. No, this person has attained immortality because they have already seen death of the ego. They are not identified with either the subtle body or the physical body. They are not identified. There is nobody to identify, they have seen that. Then, of course, then the I is there still because the body is there and things happen. The body does something, the mind does something. They are like, children, I am not that, I know that. I am not the one who is this body or this mind. No, no. This realization is there with them. How did they realize? With knowledge, of course. Knowledge is ultimate, that's why this. The knowledge of the self was received or attained by them. That is called self-realization. Realizing the self, who I am, they realized. The minute they know who I am, they know I am not the body and the mind. Now, where is the jara, dukkha, birth, death happening? Body, mind. Am I that? No. So it does not affect them. The body died, oh, cool. It will die. They know it. They are unaffected by it technically. Why? Because they know who I am. That's all. They know who I am. They are self-realized. That's why he keeps saying, the one who is self-realized, the jnani, the yogi, the realized one, Atma Jnani, is in this state. So then all this will not happen to their body. Surely it will happen. But they are not identified with it anymore. So they do what is needed. Everything happens naturally. How do we recognize? That's the issue. Now it will come. Because listening to, see, even when you look into the scriptures, it says, Amritasya putraha. You are the children of the immortals. You are. We all are. But we have not realized it. That's the difference. We know it, for sure. But we have not realized it. Okay? Having realized his own infinite nature, one's infinite nature, this yogi is now beyond the gunas. Gunas are what? Subtle body, created the physical body. Everything that is enacting, acting is all gunas. Whatever is seen is gunas. Whatever is happening is gunas. But this yogi, having realized the self, the immortal self, is no longer now, infinite self also, is no longer now bothered by this. Things are still happening, okay, to their body also. Arjuna is now interested. He asks, Kairlinga strin gunanetan atito bhavati prabho. The question has changed slightly. Kim acharah katham chaitans threen gunan ativartate. Earlier, chapter 2, it was Keshava. Sthitaprajnasya ka bhasha. Samadhistasya Keshava. Oh Keshava, tell me. Chapter 14, Prabhu. Little knowledge has come into him. Now he knows that I'm not speaking to my friend Keshava. I am speaking to Prabhu, the Lord. Okay? So the question and everything is little more precise and with more respect. So, Ke linge strin gunanetan atito bhavati prabhu. Oh Lord, what are the characteristics? Basic remains the same. Lakshana, the marks, the indications of those who have gone beyond the three gunas. Oh Lord, please tell me this. Then, kim achara. What is their conduct? Okay. Then conduct to who? To the people around the situations. How, basically, what is the behavior or conduct? That's what he wants. Katham chaitan strin gunan ativartate. How does this one go beyond the three gunas? So if you look at the question, I always say, please look into the question several times. Because otherwise you will not understand the answer. Questions are important, answers come later. If you don't read the question, the answers are useless. Okay? 3 definite questions by Arjuna. Very definite questions, very clear questions. How, first of all, how do we recognize one who has gone beyond the 3 gunas? What are the indications? So basically, what are the indications of the one who has gone beyond the 3 gunas? How will I recognize him? This is basically only the first question. How will I recognize this person who has gone beyond the 3 gunas? What will be the indications? How will I know? How do we give our address? It's opposite this, behind this, like that. What is the indications? Next question. What would be, what would be in that state of perfection, whoever it is, his relationship with the world outside? How would his relationship with the world outside be? Like, how, basically again asking the same question, how does he conduct himself? He has gone to a party, how will he conduct himself? He has gone to a satsang, how will he conduct himself? He's gone to a supermarket, how will he conduct himself? These are the questions. How would his behavior be with all of us who are still bound with the 3 gunas? He wants to know. Arjuna is coming from a very simple place. How will I recognize? What will be the indications? How will his behavior be with me and others? Basic questions. Then, how, of course, eventually, how did or how does such a person conquer his inner confusions and entanglements and attain this state? Attain the state of, going gunatita. How did he attain the state? How did he overcome the entanglements, the bondages, and all this? Beautiful 3 questions. Very precise, very clear, something which all of us would want to know also. How to recognize, what do these people do? How do they behave with me and others? What is their conduct? And how did they reach there? How did they break their entanglements? How did he conquer us, all this ups and downs? So Shri Bhagavan says, the question is this much. We just need to focus properly on the question whenever you're reading the answers. First read the question and then read the answer. Because the answers are indications of the one who has gone beyond the gunas, gunatita. Nothing to do with any of us. Okay? These are the indications of the one who is self-realized. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, verse 22, Prakasham cha pravrittim cha moham evacha pandava na dveshti sampravrittani na nivrittani kankshati. We'll break this. Prakasham, pravrittim, moham. 3 words. Cha is an and, okay? So, prakasham, pravrittim, moham. These are nothing but highlights of sattva, rajas, and tamas. Prakasham is light, which indicates sattva. Pravrittim is action and movement, indication of rajas. Moham is delusion, indication of tamas. Pandava is, of course, Arjuna. Na dveshti sampravrittani na nivrittani kankshati. Na dveshti does not hate. When does this person not hate all this? When it is present. And na nivrittani kankshati. If these 3 are absent, he does not long for it. How are we? I hate this rajas of mine. I hate this naturally because we are in where we are. It's cool. It's good to know. Okay. Prakasham, when sattva guna is there, when rajas guna is there, when tamas guna is there, these are acting out. This jnani is just there, not affected if they are there. They are there. What does it indicate? That this person also has to go through the sattva, rajas, And tamas, rajas is too much someday, tamas is too much someday, something is happening, and all this is happening. And it's okay. It's happening. They're watching. Okay? Does not hate it or does not like it also. It's not mentioned, but oh, I'm so sattvic today. No, they're cool. They watch the rajas, tamas, sattva interplay happening through their own body, mind, intellect, everything. They're just watching, not hating it. That's what. Na dveshti sampravrittani, na nivrittani kankshati. जब नहीं है निवृत्त, when it is no longer there, also, why today sattva is not there at all? Not concerned. So they are not, craving for it also. I have to bring back my sattva. I have to bring back my sattva. This is good for us. But this person who has reached is not craving and wanting for this. We need to do it, okay? We have to go after that sattva. Otherwise, you will say, oh, let us also from today sit down and watch. It doesn't work for us. This is the indications of the one who has realized. The one who is in the state, reached who am I, then found out who am I, found out I am nothing but the infinite self. Okay. Now this person does not hate sattva, rajas, tamas activity when it is there, and the same activities when they are not there, he does not crave for them. Our problem is we should basically understand this. This is an indication of that one. What is my indication? That's more important, right? What are my indications? My indications are I'll be restless, I'll be upset, then I'll be angry, then all this is happening. Watch yourself also getting angry. Another, when this person gets angry, they will not stop. They will not stop. They know it's not them. It will continue. When they're upset, it will continue. This is all the gunas, the interplay of the gunas. The program is playing itself. Where is he in the picture? But we are there. That's the difference. My sattva guna, it raised so much today. He's not saying that. He is distanced from what is happening by the gunas, of the gunas, with the gunas, in the gunas, not concerned. If you're there, badhiya. Nahi ho, badhiya. Very good. Doesn't bother me. Why? I am in myself. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. I am very much satisfied in my own self. Everything else is happening. To understand this, we can understand it in a very simple way. Okay? There are two people who are playing a video game, virtual video game. Okay, nowadays they have these games where the the rider or the bike person or the car person is exactly your image. Okay, so it's like I'm only driving there. Two are sitting and playing the same game. One has identified so strongly with that driver that when he falls and gets hurt, this one also feels I got hurt. So much identification with that virtual video guy, thinking it's me. The other one, same thing happening, falling, getting hurt, unidentified. It's happening there, not me. This is what is there. It's not easy. We are not saying it is easy at all for us. No. We are saying this person is like this. I am seeing the two people playing. One is me and one is the Atmagyani. Perfect. Now we are in a good place to start. Then you look at her, he's not affected only. I am getting so affected by, oh, I need to work on myself. I need to do push-up. I need to, make a beautiful, sharp intellect and have the power of discrimination. That I am not. That gamer is not me. That is the discrimination. The other one who is very calmly playing and not affected by all that, still undergoing all that. But that player is undergoing. He is not undergoing. The one who is playing is not undergoing. But the virtual is showing fallen, lost his family, lost his house. Oh my God. This one's heartbeat has gone up. This one's heartbeat is normal. That is the difference. But same situations are happening in both the games. But there is a difference in perception. This one thinks I am that. I am doomed. Khalas. The other one is saying, what is to happen is happening. Gaadi chalu hai. When it will stop, it will stop. I am not that. This is a literal death of ego. Death of ego. Okay? Absolute non-identification with the gunas. Absolute. It's all happening. Where? On the screen. Ours is even better to make this lighter. We're watching a movie, okay? And the heroine is in trouble and abused, and her husband left her, whatever. You can decide your drama, okay? Or it's a highly romantic scene, whichever you like. And then you start identifying with that character. And as soon as the mother-in-law enters and starts shouting at the girl, you say, "Kya aurat hai? My God, my God, it's a movie." It's a movie on the screen. That heroine knows how to respond. Why are you giving the responses for her? But I identified so much with her that I was crying more than she was crying. Surely possible. She maybe shed 1 or 2 tears. I shed a bucket load. My popcorn also got wet. Why? I identified so much with the character on the screen. When you're watching a movie, you're actually watching a movie and a screen both. Who remembers the screen? We do forget we are watching movie also. Next step. We are only identifying with the characters who are not there. See, if a woman who is in trouble comes and sits and cries in front of you, you are going to be affected. Let's not fool around. We will be affected. Even this Gyani will be affected. But unidentified they are. It's a different state which we cannot explain. We can only try to understand. So then you will say, she was sitting and crying in the front of Gyani, and Gyani was, "Hone do, kuch nahi ho." No, they will give solutions. They may shed a few tears with you. It's all happening. But there is still a high sense of non-identification with the play that's happening through them. They are witnessing that they are shedding tears, which is natural. They will not say, "I'm a Gyani, I should not cry." No, but they will not cry when they watch the movie. That much clarity is there. That's the difference. The movie is a movie. It's being playing there. Deep within, they see everything as a movie. But their program will play itself out as required. If they're sensitive, they will be sensitive. If they are strict, they will be strict. They will not change anything in the program. The subtle body has brought its prarabdha. They will allow it to play. They cannot meddle. They know it. We think I can rig my prarabdha. This is where we are failing. I can change my perception of how I see my karmas unfolding. Thereby, my new seeds are different, which is unplanned. Unplanned. No charts can read that out. They can read out only prarabdha. That's fixed. They can't read out how you're going to respond. Because at that moment, nobody knows. You yourself don't know how you're going to respond. It will depend on so many things. Right now, after the Gita session, if somebody says something, you're still in a better state of mind. By tomorrow, your state of mind is gone, suppose, then you'll respond differently. So it's a constant work on our own state of mind. But more so of the intellect. If your intellect is very discriminative, then you're like, wow, mind is enjoying today. It will play up, down, up. You're not affected. The self is not affected by it. You're watching the mind dancing. It's like two children are playing and jumping and fighting and chalana. It's okay. There is lesser and lesser identification as you grow further and further into your own self. The sharper, the more clear the intellect, the discrimination, lesser the entanglement. We cannot detach. We cannot detach. We understand that there is no bondage. This is the difference. I'll come again. We cannot detach. We are not supposed to. We understand that there is no bondage. This is the difference. This is the realized one. He knows there is no bondage. We are saying, let me remove this rope, then I will remove this rope. I have to detach from this one. I have to detach from this one. No, don't detach from anybody. Just see that there is no bondage. So this is the switch that we need to make. Meanwhile, whatever techniques you're doing to remove one thread and put one thread or whatever, chalu rehna do. But knowledge one day will reach you to a place where you learn, where is the bondage? What was I trying to remove? There is no bondage. I am not bound by this. This is an entanglement. But when you see, you will not be very sure whether this person is attached or unattached. That it's very difficult to understand. The gurus are so attached to some of their disciples, and they will openly say, I'm attached. And we are like, Arey, he's teaching us non-attachment. He's not entangled. There is a difference. He doesn't see any bondage. We see bondage in attachment. First of all, we see bondage because I am still identified with myself as this body, mind, whatever. So naturally, when I see myself as this one, I'm going to be what I am. I'm going to get bound. I'm going to get stuck because I am this, so that is mine. But the knowledge person in knowledge, self-knowledge sees no bondage at all. If you go and say we need to unentangle, they will say, what is there to, what are you entangled with? Then we'll say my spouse, my money, my house, my children. They will say, go into the knowledge. Go deeper into the knowledge and see who you are. What is attached to who? We are all one. We are non-separate, actually. When we see separation, there is bondage. Naturally, this becomes yours and this becomes mine. If I see no separation, where is the bondage? Where is the entanglement? Where is anything for that matter? This is the place from where this person is operating. So now, did we take Shloka 23? 5 minutes more? Okay. So Shloka 23 says, Udasina Patasino Gunair Yona Vichalyate Guna Vartanta Iti Evam Yo Avatisthati Nengate. We'll break this. Udasina Vatasino. Okay. Asino, asana, seated. Where is this person seated? Where is this person seated? Look. Udasino. Neutral. Neutral gear. Not jumping about. In a neutral state of mind. Not disturbed. This only shakes us. This very first part only, Shloka itself shakes us. ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? How is he? Udasino, vatasino. ऐसे आसन में बैठा है, seated in such an asana. It's completely udasin. Completely. It usually in some places it will be translated as indifference, but that's not exactly how it is. He's not indifferent or insensitive to anybody. They're undisturbed. Undisturbed. Okay. Even if it says indifference, it's okay. You need to just understand what it means. Okay. Next is gunair. To the three gunas. Okay. Udasino, seated in complete neutral state, undisturbed to what? To the three gunas. Now two people again playing the same video game. One is like, oh no, dish, all going on from here also, sound effects. The other one is also playing the same game. No movement, but just using whatever is used, hand is used or whatever is used, palm is used, finger is used, doesn't matter, playing. Oh no, this one. The other one is okay, still playing. Same situation, same game. Responses and reactions are different. One is undisturbed, one is thoroughly disturbed. Udasino, vatasino. The other one is opposite, completely into the game. Okay? Now, Yona vichalyate. Yona vichalyate. This means he is, that one is na vichalyate, not disturbed. Not disturbed at all. Okay? He remains neutral, undisturbed, seated, very much in neutral state, almost looking like unaffected. Okay? Guna vartanta iti evam. He knows. Gunas vartanta. Gunas are playing. They are interplaying. They are enacting. They are acting. Chalu rana. And this person, it is avadhishtati. Avadhishtati is established in the self. Tishtati. Avadhishtati is established in the self. And last word is very nice. It says ningate. It means na ingate. Na ingate. Not shaking, not wavering. Na ingate. So what is the scene that we can see? He who is seated, almost looking unconcerned, okay? Na vichalite, undisturbed, seeing the gunas interplaying by themselves, acting and doing all that. Totally seated in the own self, in avatishtati na ingate, not wavering, established in the self. This is what is being said in this one shloka. So this only we have to sit and think, oh my God, what is this? What is this? Who is the Gunatita? He asked the question, right? What is the conduct of this one? Like this. Sitting as though unconcerned, seated neutral, undisturbed, watching the gunas playing. Chal raha hai na? He is okay, he is just watching the gunas playing. Then he is seated in the self, established in the self. Seated, unconcerned, established in the self, not wavering. Who is not wavering? The mind will waver, physical body will waver, all that has to happen through the body mind will continue happening. Steady intellect. Sthita Dhi. The intellect is very discriminative, very clear. What is Nitya? What is Anitya? But in the Anitya, okay, Nitya is permanent. Anitya is today there, tomorrow not there. In the Anitya, whatever role he has to play will continue. Will he stop playing the role? Not possible. Whilst playing the role very, very much in the knowledge, it is a role. It has to be played. There is no choice. It is a play. It is life. It is difficult. There is ups and downs. This is life. This is how it will happen. I know my infinite nature. I am established in the self, not identified with all that is happening. Death of ego, this person is very relaxed. Now, in the movie, Amitabh Bachchan, Mohanlal, whoever, okay, probably they lost their spouse or mother or somebody in the movie, okay? Now, when this actor is playing the role, how will they play? They will play it so well that you will cry when they cry. That is excellent acting, excellent acting. Okay, they have played their role to the best of their ability. They have done it. But when this hero was playing the role, okay, did he not still remember who he was? He knew, right? I'm Amitabh Bachchan, I'm Mohanlal, I'm this one, I'm Mammootty, I'm whoever I am. He remembers. Amir Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, all these. They remember who they are. And still they are acting so well, means they are gone totally into the role, yet they remember that it is not their wife who died. And nobody is dead as such. It's they see that in this movie I have to play this role. And they have to do it totally. And yet that one part is still there, available, seated in the self. I'm Shah Rukh Khan. I'm not this person playing this role. No. Unidentification with the roles. Seated in the self, when playing the role, looking totally identified. So much so that we forget that it was Shah Rukh Khan. And we remember that character. That well they play it. This is where these people are. They do it so well. It's no longer acting. They know the gunas are enacting and acting by themselves. I can be seated in myself, peaceful. This is lot of work of the ego only. The ego is the one which is making us get into all mess because we are identifying constantly. If you just sit back and watch, you will see yourself doing a lot of stuff, which is fun. Try doing that. Try doing that at times. You are still not unidentified because you are saying, oh, my mind is doing this. See, my hand lifted. In that I and my is still there. We are not able to see that the gunas are acting by themselves, which is okay. Let us begin somewhere. So watch the play happening. You in the play. Do everything. Understand eventually this person who is unaffected is because they have realized who they are. And until we don't realize who we are, we will be the other person only playing that game with all the actions and all the troubles. Trying to, find ourselves. So the ultimate solution, that's why they say, is find who you are. Why are you playing in all these 1,000 techniques and wasting your time? Trying to manage the mind, manage the mind, manage the mind. Just find out who you are. That is the ultimate journey. Ultimate journey. To find out you, who you are. You are the infinite self. This I need to know. How will I know? Self-inquiry, inquiry of the self, spirit of inquiry, inquiry of the spirit. This is ultimate journey. This is what this person did and became Gunatita. Okay, so let's close.